Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me see something real quick. Hope, hope you all had a blessed day. Let's get things together first. Get things together first. Mhm. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So what's going on? First let me start out by saying this. I had a uh-oh. I had a great day. Had a great day today. I was off. I didn't um I didn't actually work today, but I still got up. I don't know if any of you seen my other video earlier this morning, but I got up and try to make content, and actually exercised, did some walking. So you know that was good. And the video, if you haven't seen the short that I did earlier today, it should be below this video. And I talked about pretty much. I'm gonna share with you this. I talked about showing gratitude, showing gratitude, and showing appreciation for those that you genuinely care about, those that you genuinely love. Because life is short. Life is short. Life is not promised. And so we think. Take my shoes off. We think that you know, and people know. For the most part, people know. People can feel it. They can feel it in their spirit. They can feel it in their heart. Hello, how you doing? They can feel it in their spirit. They can feel it in their heart that you truly, genuinely love them and care about them. But there's nothing wrong with saying it. There's nothing wrong with saying it. And nothing wrong with telling them, say, hey, uh, whoever it may be. I'm not gonna make it specific for parents, but whoever it may be, whoever the case may be, you know, tell them, hey, man, even if somebody that bag of grocery at the grocery store, it could be as simple as that. Telling somebody thank you, telling somebody that you appreciate what they've done for you, even if in the smallest, the small, whether you may think it's small, and we may think it's. I'll say, let's say, I'm not gonna say you, I'm gonna say we. We may think it's small, but that act of kindness, that act, even though you might think it's not that, but that act that you're sharing, it can make a whole world of difference to somebody that's having a rough day. So that was the highlight of my day. If you haven't seen the video and you desire to see it, check it out. It's below this video right here. But I really want to come on and talk because I seen this today. I didn't hear it. I saw this today, and they were talking about the pastors. I don't know. I don't want to butcher his name, but the Bryant. I think his last name is Bryant. Jamal Bryant's wife. I haven't seen. I didn't even want to look. But I figured this would be the topic for tonight because because I was one of those people. I was one of those people that would try to judge and prejudge Christians, people that are in the church, and talk about. I would talk about how they would act, how they should act, how they should act, how they should act, and what they should and shouldn't do. And so after seeing this comment, for those that have been following me, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe and check out my other videos. But I had to like look. I looked at that comment today, and I'm like, I didn't want to look at the dress, but I'm like, and they said the comment person said that if people in the world dressing like this, then the world is affecting the church. And so my thoughts on that, that's why I want to come on. That's my gist and my thoughts about everything that's going on. And so before I get into what I'm gonna say, I got some stats for you. I wrote them down. I wrote them down. Wrote them down. So did you know here in the United States, Florida, United States of America, we have 7,000 in South Florida where I live. Now, that's not talking about worldwide. We're talking about worldwide. We're talking about South Florida where I live. We have an estimated amount of, hello, how you doing? How you doing? Hello. An estimated amount of 7,000. That's funny. 7,000. My day's going good. But did you know that we have 7,000, well, this call it 7,400 churches in sunny South Florida. That's not including the United States. That's not including the United States, right? That's not including the United States. I'm gonna say that again. This is in sunny South Florida. We have over 7,000 churches, 7,400 churches in the United States, right? And so on estimate, this is an estimate because I wrote it down. This is an estimate that we have over 3 million Christians in South Florida alone. I'm not talking about the whole state of Florida, because the state of Florida is vast, it's big, it's mass. It's a big state. It takes a while to get out of the state, right? But in South Florida alone, we have an estimate of 3 million Christians. 3 million. And so I say, with all that number, that's a big number, right? 3 million is a lot. 3 million is a lot, right? Yeah, that's crazy. I know it's crazy. That's a lot, right? And so I said, I want to ask, I said, an estimate, how many homeless people do we have in South Florida? And so you know what I got? In South Florida alone, an estimate, we have over 4 million homeless people. That's Miami-Dade. I'm saying South Florida, Miami-Dade, Miami, Broward County, and Palm Beach County. And Palm Beach County passes from, you got Miami, you got Miami, then you got Broward County, then you got Palm Beach County. And so, and Palm Beach County invests a certain amount of cities. Miami invests a certain amount of cities, but 4 million people. And so I'm saying that, so I've been homeless, and I was thinking that in order to get shelter, if you desire to get shelter, like let's say today you fall on bad times, because it's people that actually, it's not, people think that people that are homeless don't want to work. But we actually have people that are homeless that actually have jobs, that go to work every day and sleep in their cars. So, but I was saying that when the person said that the world, you should be able to see Christians from the world. And my thoughts about that is, people that go to church are trying to get right. They're trying to live right. They're going to church so they can fight off the demons that they have, because we all have demons. We all, whether you acknowledge it or not, we all have demons. We all have things that we're fighting. Thoughts, crazy thoughts, in our mind, and the one thing about it is that God gives us, puts in us, unless you have a chemical imbalance, a mental imbalance. But people know right from wrong. People know right from wrong. That's why, even as a child, even as a baby, even as a little kid, you do things, and you try to hide and do them. So my point is, this pastor, and his wife, I haven't seen what she had on. I didn't see the dress, and I didn't want to see it, because I didn't want to form an opinion about it, because I want to come on here and be honest and truthful about and be blunt about what I didn't see, because I didn't see it. So I can't form an opinion about anybody, and neither can you. you can't form an opinion about anybody because you know, like growing up, we always talked about sweep it around your own porch, sweep around your own driveway. Make sure your driveway is clean and your house is clean. There's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than a person that comes to your house and criticizes you about criticizes you about how your house look, how your house look, and how good it should be clean, how good it should be clean, and you don't get invited. Let's just say you don't get invited. You don't get invited. Let's say okay, you're not getting invited. You just decide to pop up. You decide to pop up over there, right? You decide to pop up over there. Pop, just come up, show up for a visit. Show up for a visit, say hello, and you go there, and it's roaches around. Roaches running around everywhere, and you know, but like get your own, clean around your own spot, clean around your own circle, and yeah, we all do. I know we all do. It's true. We all do. We all do that. But uh, I'm trying to, change that. I don't want to. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that. We all do. I don't want to be a part of we all do because I'm not a part of that. We all do. No, no. Like we got to start doing things different. And my point to the person that said that, to anyone that has the idea to say that, is if you desire something in the church, don't talk about what goes on. Don't talk about from the outside. Don't talk about it from the outside. Be that light. Be that light. Be that spark. Be that spark. Be that change. Because maybe what it needs, what you have, whatever part of organization you're in, what they have. What they're missing. What they're missing is what you have. So, don't talk about what's going on from the outside. If you're inside, then make the changes, or get the advice to make the changes. Because talking about it and criticizing it, when a lot of times, your porch ain't clean, your porch is dirty. It's dirty, it's filthy. So, so if you desire that change, don't criticize the church. Let me read. I'm gonna read them again. I'm gonna read them again because if people were so holy and so thoughtful and so righteous, this is my opinion now. I'm not. I'm coming on here because I want to share this because I saw that it was on my heart. But people don't talk about this stuff. They don't talk about these stats. And this is, like I said, this is in South Florida alone. 7,400 churches. That's an estimate. 3 million Christians. 3 million Christians. That's an estimate. And 4 million people living in the streets. That goes for people that in the streets. That goes to people that have jobs, that sleeping in their cars. And like I said earlier, like in order to you can get on a homeless list for a shelter. Now they'll feed you. You can go around here. You can go around to the different shelters and get something to eat. They make sure that you can get something to eat. But when it comes time for you to bed down and go to sleep, where you gonna sleep? And everywhere you go now. Back in the day, it wasn't like this. In Boynton, in Boynton Beach, Florida, it's not. They don't have all this stuff. They got spots where they used to have. You can be able to charge your phone. You come there and charge your phone. They got them blocked off now where you can't charge your phone no more. Then they got everywhere you go, you want to sit or something, especially at night, even at the bus stop. They got it where it's no trespassing. But if you go to, it all depends on what city you're in. But Palm Beach, Miami, it's real bad. So people migrate downtown. But like I'm saying, like if it's a 90-day waiting list for people to get somewhere to sleep, then what you expect them to do? Even with the even with the, as far as like eating and stuff. Sometimes people don't have access to get on the bus. They don't have bus passes because bus passes they give them to you, but you have to go through a rigmarole in order to get one. So how you gonna get there to get something to eat when they shut down after a certain time? So my whole point is, and they limited the amount of funding for them to deliver the food. Because they used to be able to deliver the food to the people. Now they can't even do that. So my whole point with all that, with all I'm saying is, you know, be the light. It's easy. It's easy for people to criticize, and talk about what's going on somewhere, whether it's in a home or a house. It's easy to criticize. And like I said, I was one of those people. I was one of those people, and that's why I'm so passionate about saying that I was wrong, because I was wrong. If you want change, if you want change and you desire change, be that light. Be that light. And you can be the light. You can be that spark. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Don't talk about what's going on in certain places. Like I said, especially I'm talking about the church now. I'm talking about what's going on in the church. Find you a pastor that you right with his vision, and inspire to do change. Inspire to change, whether it's whatever it is, whatever the case may be. But and no, one other thing too, you have to run your own race. You can't talk about what people are doing and how they living. You have to live your life for yourself. Because God's not gonna judge. God's not gonna judge me behind what you did. God's gonna judge me behind what I did. God's gonna judge me behind what I did, not behind what you did, or not behind what the pastor did. And I know they're supposed to be a person of influence and a person of guidance, but you know the one thing I want to share with you is this. We all have parents. We all got to have a parent, right? We all have parents. We all have parents, and regardless of who your parent is, or whatever your circumstances may be. We all have parents, and our parents tell us growing up, from adolescent to an adult, or if you're still a child, they tell you that certain things to do, certain things you shouldn't do, and whether we do them or not, it's on us. So a lot of times, even though we fail, we fail as children. We do something wrong, do something out of the ordinary. Guess what? Guess what? Our parents, they still love us, and they still want to help us. So the same thing with God. God feels the same way. God feels the same way. Regardless of what where you at in your life, where you at in your life, or what you may think about the church or the world, you know, being them mixing them being mixed together. You know, if you desire change, if you want to see a change, if you truly, 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 truly want to see a change, then let it start with you. Let it start with you. You know, don't be the voice of criticism. Don't be the voice of criticism. That's all I'm saying. If you really desire to change, if you really want to see something different in wherever you want to go, if you want to see the difference in that place, it's like going anywhere. Whether it's a job, anywhere. You're gonna quit your job because hey, how you doing? How's everything? Thank you for joining live, you know, but you gonna quit where you at, or quit what you're doing because certain situations. No, be the agent to change. You be the reason why you say, well, such came, whoever came. Let me see, pick a name out of here. Well, anyway, such came, and they really changed things around. You know, if it wasn't for them, this place wouldn't be like it is right now. So that's how to getting your mind frame, getting your mindset, and think about stuff like that. Because you know, criticizing the outside, I've done that, and I was wrong for doing that. You know, but because I wasn't doing anything but talking. And it's time for people that if you believe, like I said, got it right here. We got 3 million Christians right here in South Florida, and we got over 4 million homeless people living in the streets, whether they got jobs or not. So if you truly want to be an agent of change, and you live here, if you live anywhere, South Florida, wherever you may live, if you truly want to be an agent of change, stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. Get up and of course you can voice your opinion and say, hey, you should voice your opinion inside the building. Voice your opinion inside the building and talk to those people inside the building and say, hey, this is what we got to do something about this. This right here is going on. You know, we got such people around here. And don't go to church and have a show and then go to Golden Corral afterwards. Don't go to church and jump up and down and praise God and worship God and then say, well, we're going to eat afterwards. And people are sleeping and eating out of garbage cans and stuff like that. Come on, man. Is that what God wants? Is that what God wants? You know, you say I love the Lord. I love the Lord. And I'm saying this because, it's something I'm passionate about and something I believe in, and I don't understand it. And I got numbers right here. Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. 4,400 churches. I'm saying it again. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna get over here, because I'm not saying, I'm saying this from a place of love and a place of where I was at about criticizing the church, but it's serious. It's not a joke, because like I said, I've been in the streets, so I know how it is. I know what people do, because if a person can't find a place to eat, if a person can't find a place to eat, then guess what they're gonna do? If a person can't find somewhere to go and somewhere to eat, then what are they gonna do? They're gonna go to these stores and start stealing. They're gonna steal or rob or do something to get what they want to eat. Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm a little late, but yeah, I was talking about. Anyway, I don't know if you're in the church or not, but yeah, it's like I say, 7,400 churches, 3 million Christians, and 4 million people homeless. I'm gonna say that again. Let that get in your mind, in your mental. Let that get in your mental real quick. Let that get in your mental. And this is in South Florida alone. South Florida alone. 7,400 churches, 3 million Christians. 3 million. That's a large number. And 4 million people homeless in the streets. And so my question to you is, my question to people that watch my videos, people that rock with me, is that if you believe in God, what are we gonna do about it? And it starts with us, it starts with me, it starts with you. What are you gonna do about it? I said, oh, I'm having a hard time myself. And we all are. We all are. But we all find ways to do things we want to do. And so, I just want to come on and talk about that, because that came up, the comment came up, and it irked me a little bit. And I said, instead of me going back and forth, let me use my this platform that I'm on, and talk about it a little bit, man. Maybe somebody, if it's one person that watches this video and sees what I'm saying and is encouraged by it, and desires to do something different, then it's worth the how many minutes? The 24 minutes or 25 minutes I've been on here. So, but we are gonna do something to change the narrative, because this number shouldn't be. It should be like, I think it should be half. It should be half. Like, we got 3 million Christians and we got 4 million homeless. The homeless outweigh the Christians. The homeless people outweigh the Christians. Let me say that again. The homeless number outweighs the Christian people. And that's only in South Florida. That's only in South Florida. So what not only myself, but what are we doing as Christians? As people that, well, you could be a Muslim. Any people that believe in a higher power. Anybody. What is America? Is America chasing greed? More people care about money. They might care about pets. If it was a dog, if the homeless people, if it was 4 million people, 4 million dogs that needed shelter and needed something to eat, then need some place to stay, then that number will go down dramatically. And I'm laughing, but I'm laughing because it's sad. But people care more about. People care more about. I ain't gonna say all that. People care more about dogs than they do about human life. So anyhow, man, I don't want to come on here and rant and rave, but as you can see, we have to do something about it. I know it probably won't happen in my lifetime, but people start dying, people start getting killed before anything is done, and then there may be a manslaughter in the streets. But people are going to find a way. People are going to find a way to eat. People are going to find a way to eat. So if this country, doing all this kind of other stuff, or it don't have to be the country. If God's people don't wake up and start doing something about what's going on, then instead of living their lives and having, whatever we're doing, whatever we're doing, instead of helping God's people, because they are God's people. They are God's people. You can look at them and pass all you want to, but the judgment starts with you sweeping around your own porch. Make sure that's clean for you. And for somebody pops up on you, and they find roaches in your house is not clean. So anyway, that's all I got. I want y'all to be encouraged. This wasn't a I don't know what you call it. This wasn't a trying to bash video, but like I said, we all are God's people. We all are God's people. And so when you know that, and you truly take that in your heart, take it in your heart and you truly believe it. Take it in your heart and you truly believe it, that we're all are God's people. And when nobody's better than the other, because you never know a person's circumstances. Because you see a person in the streets, you don't know nothing about that person. Nothing about that person. And you see them come in the streets and you judging them. But, we all are God's people. And I had a family member tell me that, you give up on folks. And I'm gonna share the story with you, but I'm gonna get off of here. I know this lady, and it brings me pride, it brings me joy. I know of a person, and she earned her wings. I know of a person that went every Sunday to bring this guy to church, and this guy was smoking, doing drugs, and he would try to avoid her. But she wouldn't leave, and she would bring him. She would stay out there until he came out, and she would bring him to church. And that same pastor, I told him after the service that I appreciate what he said, appreciate what he did. But that same guy preached a eulogy. So my point is, God doesn't give up on people, and neither should we. Because no matter what the circumstance is, no matter how they look or where they're at in their life, God has a purpose for them. God has a plan for them. So you could be the agent of change in their life to help them to get them where they need to be. So if you believe in God, if you truly believe in God, then you can be the agent of change. So with that being said, be safe, be blessed. Like I always say, tell somebody enough, you never know when you're going to go. You never know when they're going to go. Kiss the ones you love. You never know when you can kiss them again. Y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'm out. Peace out.